Got it. All right. This is episode 104 of the Real Estate Fight Club.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Fight Club. What is up, Jennifer Merlin?
Hi, Monica. How are
you?
I'm good. It's cooled down, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, finally we can breathe here in Ohio. God, breathing soup. It was horrible.
Save us from the oven.
Although we can't complain, just all things considered and what's going on down south. And
it's true.
Yeah. So we won't complain here in Ohio anymore.
No.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Real Estate Fight Club. We love that you're here. And today, Jen and I are going to duke it out over this question. This is a good one. I don't know if we're going to duke it out, but guys, if you're listening, this is super freaking important.
Yes.
The question: should agents set hours? Should we have hours of operation?
Answer: yes.
Yes. God, yes.
We agree.
All right, that's the show today. Thanks for joining us.
Why do I have a feeling that we sort of agree, but
yeah, I'm sure there's some little nuances here. But I do want you, if you're listening, I want you to keep this going, because if you're feeling overworked, if you feel like you don't have control of your schedule, and isn't that the irony, Jen? Did you ever, doesn't everybody always say, I just wanted to have a little bit more freedom in my life. That's why I became a real estate agent.
It's effing stupid. Yes.
That's what everybody says, though. I wanted freedom, right?
Or they say, I love looking at houses, which also doesn't happen.
And I'm a people person.
Oh God, until you become a realtor after 6 years.
Then you will not be.
I used to be a people person until I became a realtor.
It's funny. Well, tell me your experience and your sort of metamorphosis of learning this over time, because when you're a new agent, everything takes longer. You'll take any kind of business. You're just in it to learn, right? So what's been your path on that, Jen?
Well, yeah, I agree with you. When I was newer, up until I freaked out and left the country, I would say it was balls to the wall, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
As they say. That's the worst expression.
Who's they?
I don't know. Rappers? Do rappers say that?
I don't know.
Sure. Anyway, I think for me, the thing about the hours is not necessarily I work from 9 to 5 and I'm closed, whatever, right? Because I think people take that and then they leave it on their voicemail, which makes me insane. I don't care. And they do sorry, this is not a dig, so I apologize in advance, Monica. But they do a email thing that's I'll answer your email between 12:30 and it makes me crazy. I don't care. But as an industry, I think that we need to stop doing counter offers at 10 o'clock at night.
Gosh, wouldn't that be nice?
There has to be some level of reasonableness or something.
Mm-hmm.
Where we just look, if it's after X time, then we're likely not going to hear back till tomorrow. But I think part of the problem is we have so many agents where this is their second job. So they actually work after hours. And buyers maybe, or sellers won't meet you until they get off work. But here's the thing. It's only because we allow it, because they go to the doctor during work. They take their kids to school. They pick them up. They do all this stuff. They make it work. But because we're so flexible, quote unquote, and we accept it. I think it's bullshit. Stop it.
Yeah, I agree. I know I bring lawyers into this quite a bit as an example. I just think of it as another professional, but I know the irony is that they are at the bottom of the list of respect. But my dad was an attorney, and I cannot remember a single time that I heard him on the phone at 10 o'clock.
No.
Negotiating some sort of back end deal going on.
Maybe even we can't put up listings while the MLS office is closed or something like that, right? There's the title company is not open.
Right.
So let's just
banks aren't open.
Banks aren't open. Yeah. Like all the people that we do business with, except us and lenders, we're the only ones that run around and pretend like, and there's like a badge of honor that's like, I work 24/7. Well, you're stupid if you can't get your shit done in less time.
Yeah. It's not cool. It's not cool to run around and say, I'm so busy, I have no time. Like that to me is just a red flag that you're not managing your time. And it's not impressive. It's not
No,
like
but people say it like it is a badge of honor.
I know, but it's not. It
for those who think that you're dumb and you don't control your life.
Well, let's not go the whole way there.
I mean, you know, I always have to take it like 10 steps a little too far.
Yeah, you always do. Yeah, that's what works about this whole thing. But you're not dumb. You're just not prioritizing the things that matter, and you are showing up as desperate for the money instead of prioritizing
your life.
Yeah, right.
But here's the thing too. It's like, okay, so I think you bring up a good point. So it's all about prioritizing the activity, right? So there's 5 jobs of a real estate agent. 5, that's it. Everything else. Okay, so let's go through the 5.
Let's go through that.
So a practice and role play, you got to know what the hell to say to people to get the job done, right? You got to practice it. Lead generating, lead follow, however you do it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Following up on leads.
Yep.
Negotiating contracts.
Yep.
What's the other one? Oh, going on appointments. Duh. I don't do that. Alan does that. That's why I forget. Anyway, that's it. So if you're doing anything else, you're doing it wrong, right? Like so if I know that based on my goals, I need to have 5 appointments a week, then I say, okay, here's when I do my appointments. I do it after my lead generation, after my lead follow-up. Do those things first. Act in order of priority. And if you haven't read The One Thing by Jay Papasan, freaking read that book. It is good. Oh my God, it's so good.
So good.
Hashtag so good. Do you know what? Somebody told me that I say that all the time. It's so good.
Like,
it is so good. Like
so good. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So then it's not like when you're going to talk to a client, you're doing your lead generation, you know, you have to fill a slot for that day or whatever you do let's say you do your appointments from 3 to 5 every day or whatever, right? You create that in your calendar. And we've talked about calendars before and you like showed us yours. Okay. So then it's like, okay, I can meet you at Tuesday at 3 or Wednesday at 4, which is better for you. And then they will decide. But instead, most agents are like, well, when do you want to meet? No, then you're going to an appointment at 8:00 in the morning. You're going to one at 6. You're running around. It's like super inefficient.
Right. Well, what they're going to say is, can you come over after we put the kids down?
No, I'm not.
Which means it's an 8 p.m. Right.
Right. No. I
Jen,
want to come before dinner because I want you to be hungry so we can get the hell out of there.
Right. I will come 30 minutes before dinner is on the table.
Right.
So that you don't want to hang out and chat with me all night.
You know what? Never mind. Let me just send you everything. I'll send you a video, sign here. We're done. 10 minutes later.
Right. Okay. My theory is that this, first of all, obviously priorities, but that this comes down to confidence. And what I mean by that is when agents have confidence in themselves as bringing value to the situation, and they have confidence in their ability to earn income and have a business that thrives.
Yes.
The reason agents take any appointment anytime and don't set standards in their business and don't set hours of operation is because they're lacking confidence in one or both of those things. Because if you know your self-worth and you know that you're going to be fine financially and that you know where your next deal is coming from because you're doing all the things you were supposed to be doing in the category
generating
of
leads,
right?
Yes.
Then you can say, I'm fully committed. Actually, Peter Chabris, hats off to Peter Chabris for giving me this language. Hey, Peter. He probably doesn't even remember this, but he said to me, he's one of the guys I look up to as far as managing his time really well. And he said, he gave me 2 tips. One was use the phrase, I'm fully committed at that time.
Nice.
Would, and then present an alternative. Right. And that doesn't mean you're fully committed to another client. That doesn't mean you could be fully committed to your family, fully committed to your couch and the bonbons.
Binge watching Manifest.
Right.
Hello, watch it.
And then the other thing he does, I believe, or that he told me he operates sometimes with, is he changes calendar days to business days.
Nice.
He changes that in the contract. So if it's, if the inspection is 7 calendar days, he crosses it out and says 7 business days or
Nice.
5 business days or whatever, so that we're not all running around on, Sunday nights trying to meet a deadline that we did to ourselves. By the way, we did this to ourselves.
Right.
And if you put a deadline of 5 o'clock on Sunday night for your contracts, guess what you're going to be doing all Sunday night?
Right.
So don't do that to yourself. Do Monday at 10.
Now, Monica.
What? Let me hear it.
I'm going to be devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm. Please.
Okay. So the houses come up on the weekend. They come up on Sunday and there's, 27 showings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to do it.
You have to do what? You mean show a house on that?
Show a house. And if they like it, I got to get it in.
Yeah. Great point. And no, you have to have a plan for that, but you don't have to do it. I have agents that I partner with that'll show houses for me if I am fully committed on a Saturday to another priority in my life. Mm-hmm. And part of that is, here's this word again, setting expectations or phrase. Setting expectations, because this is a discussion I have with the buyers. Hey, there's going to be a time that I'm not going to be available and a house comes up. Right. Here's how I solve that. Are you good with that?
Right.
If they always are. If they're not, then I might not be the right agent because I have to lean on other people.
Well, you could also do like a lot of agents, this kind of makes them like twitch, right? But if you had like another agent that you worked with and you guys maybe did like one weekend on, one weekend off, if you're not comfortable with going kind of all out like we're talking about, you could share it. Right. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, you don't have to pay them on their weekend and they don't pay you on yours.
Right. Well, yeah, you can solve that.
You transfer the phone, you do all the things.
Yep.
And it'll just make your life so much better because it's being handled. And I wouldn't do it with a new agent either. I would do it with somebody that's like-minded, has the same skill set as you, like a true colleague.
Yeah. That's one way to solve that. The other way is just to get a bunch of new agents that just open doors for you.
We're going to fight about that again.
I've done that for 3 years. It's worked great. I just hit Icon this year, earned $16,000 in company stock. Look, that's how that works for me.
Right.
And my clients have no problem with it.
No, they really don't care, but that's like a different topic, right? Yeah. But I think like as an industry, we need to do better and do business hours that make sense. But my question is, okay, if that happens, then what do you think is the percentage of people that do this after work? Like as another job? It's
a good question. I don't know the answer to, but it sure would discourage people from getting into the business if they knew the business is not done in the evenings.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know that that's exactly the end goal, right? Like sometimes the people that work part-time and do it and they actually do better. But I don't know. I just think this expectation should not be that we're running around at 7 o'clock at night and on the weekends doing this job. I think it's ridiculous.
No. Yeah. And you know what? I'm okay with the occasional negotiating a deal till 8 o'clock. I'm not okay with negotiating a deal till 11 p.m. That is
I won't do
2 hours past my bedtime.
9. Like anything after about 8:30, like you can't count on me for whatever I say. Like you're getting unfiltered.
Correct.
Like
correct. Cranky, hangry, and tired, and all of it.
Probably too many White Claws in, depending on the day.
Right. But to that point, we can have agents that are working outside of their 9-to-5 job, but then they have this small window to be really effective and efficient that they can't just assume that everybody's going to be up till 11 because I'm not.
Right.
And when I do it, it's like the biggest nightmare of my life.
Oh, it's the worst. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Let's go back to our corner, shall we?
Oh, yeah. Let's take a break.
All right, let's take a short break, hear a word from our partners, and when we return, we will have final tips.
Welcome back. Let's get back inside it's not really a ring, it's more of a porch. We're like, you and I are sitting on a porch having a discussion today.
Sipping some sweet tea.
No, sweet tea on the porch. No fighting, really. So Jen, did you talk to anybody else about this?
Yes. It actually, this question came up because we saw it in I think it must have been Lab Code's Facebook group, maybe. I think that's where it was.
Yep.
Yeah. And so you'll hear some of the responses from that. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think for like my 1 minute here, I'd like to encourage people to, if you have like a certain day or certain time that it's like, this is the time that I'm not, it's actually a disservice for me to be working because everybody needs a break, right? How can encourage yourself, ask yourself, how can I make this happen? What are the steps that I need to take? And if you are stuck, please reach out to us.
Yes.
We will help you.
That's correct. Because not only is it possible, it's actually
absolutely
happening.
Possible.
Like it's actually happening.
Yes.
Right. Sharon used to joke. She's like, I think I've never seen an agent that works as a few weekends as you do, because I just decided not to work weekends.
And that's all that happens, right? You decided it and then you didn't.
And then I was willing to walk away from business that only could operate on the weekends. That's the difference.
It's liberating.
The confidence. I know it is, but that's the difference. I was willing to walk away and make room for the business that I wanted.
You bring up a really good point. So like for me, I had heard this agent and I forget where I was at, like a mastermind or an event, which is why people should go to events. But like I went to one and this lady was like, I think it must have been Mike Ferry because those are the ones I really like to go to. She was like, I like to get off of work at 3 because I ride my horse. And I was like, you know what? That was my problem. I was working so hard because I had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So now I just have other stuff to do.
Yeah, perfect. That's right.
So I like getting off by 4 because I like doing stuff.
I love it. You know, this is only about, I would say 3 months old for me, but I don't take an appointment before 10 a.m. and I leave the entire morning for my self-care routine. Workout, journal, meditate, breakfast, conversation with my wife, get Bronson off to school.
Lovely. Write him notes.
That's it. Write him notes. That's it though. That's it. Now, will I make an exception? Absolutely.
Yes.
We're not saying that doesn't happen, but there's not an exception every week. I can tell you that.
Right.
There's an exception like, once every other month or something.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right. So hopefully you guys heard some tips here today that'll encourage you to stand your ground, put some standards in place, decide your hours of operation. That's the first thing to do. What are you available? When are you not available? And live with it and be willing to walk away from business that doesn't fit into that. It's okay.
Just refer it.
Yeah. If your dentist doesn't operate on Saturdays and you need Saturday appointments, you just go get another dentist.
Right. It's fine.
Right. This is what happens. All right, guys. I think that's going to have to be the end of today's discussion.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with other agents, especially if you know another agent that is really working way too hard and getting ready to burn out. Share this with them.
Don't burn out.
Yeah, don't burn out. It's not worth it. We need you in the business. Stay.
Yes. Well, if you're not good, then we don't need you. But if you're good,
everybody's good. They just need help.
Okay. And if you have a question about EXP or you are stuck on your schedule, feel free to give me a call, 513-400-1691. Monica, it was great.
It was fabulous to be with you, Jen. I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.